Hi there, everyone. Welcome to another Escapement Show.
Hey guys.
Hey
Hey everyone.
Hunter,
Hey everyone.
cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah.
What's going on, boys? How are we?
Zaha.
Yeah, we're doing good. Great to see you all. And welcome to everyone in the chat. Lux Report, this or this, Timepiece Bob. Yeah.
Hi
Guys in the
everyone.
chat. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another Escapement Show. And we thought this week JCB had a nice idea that we could discuss some of our grails. And Jamie had a bit of a question about that, didn't you, Jamie? You wanted to
No. It's
define the grail.
it's very much unique to each person. What does Grail mean to me? What does it mean to Abdul? So it'd be good to actually get each of us interpretation of what Grail means.
Yeah. Well, it's funny actually, Thomas, that you mentioned that I said we should talk about grails. And I think if you look back through the correspondence between us, I'm not sure whether I used the term grail. I think I said we should talk about the watches that we really like.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Maybe I got my.
I did that deliberately because I think I don't really like using the term grail because grail it sort of to me it's symbolizes this sort of this one watch that you have that you want to get, right. It's like the grail piece, right. And I just don't really look at watches that way, really. I don't have one watch. And I think all of us probably don't have one watch that's a grail. Collectors, I'm sort of speaking for everyone, but for myself anyway, I've always got 5, 10, 15 watches in my head that I just love at any one time. And to me, the idea was to talk about, say, a 6 to 8 watch collection. Like, just say you won the Powerball or the Lotto, what would be that collection of watches that you really like, maybe at the moment, where they're the ones that we sort of that you'd like. So the concept of a grail, I think, is a sort of it's a strange one. It's a tricky one, but it gets used a lot. I'll admit that. But personally, I don't have a concept of a grail. I just have a ton of watches that I like. And
Yeah, I think I'm with you there because our they change all the time, don't they? These sort of grails that we're talking about. There's so many watches out there, and there's so many different ones coming out, and so many ones that we look back on and vintage ones, and we're changing our minds all the time in this hobby. We're so many new things coming out that we can't stick with a list of grails that we want to acquire, or we'd like our fantasy watches. We're constantly seeing new things that would jump out at us. I agree with you there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think about it exactly the same. Like the fantasy teams, like you use the word fantasy, the
Yeah.
fantasy football. For me, it's like this.
Exactly.
I have my top 10 watches in each category, and these are the ones that I love. Another one comes out, wins some kind of award. I look at, oh, that's really nice. Put it on the list, take one out, and throw it back. And for me, I do use the word grail for one thing. Like for me, it's like, okay, now I'm doing something new, and when I achieve it, I would like to have this watch. And it has to be like an attainable grail. It's not like, okay, I'm doing something at work in 5 years and I'm thinking about getting an RM. No, that doesn't make sense. If I'm a businessman that could maybe have the revenue that could do that, okay, but I couldn't afford it. So it's not something that I wouldn't be able to afford it. So I was like, okay, in 5 years, my grail watch to get this one, which would be attainable, but at the same time, something that I can't get it in except after 5 years, connected to some kind of milestone in life.
Yeah. When I was putting together my list, I was when you think of a grail for me, it kind of it's like unobtainable. It implies possibly super expensive, and I don't like that. I like to set something that I want to get, and then find a way to actually get it.
Yeah.
So my list isn't you know, the first one is the most expensive, but then it became much less, you know, because I want to be able to achieve the dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah, my list is, as GCB said, it's a list of a guy who just won 10 million in the lotto and just splurging on watches.
Yeah, I mean that's sort of the fun of being a collector, right? That's what we do. We like, you know, it's no point just thinking about fucking moon swatches all day, or you know, like Tissot's or whatever.
Yeah.
We, you know, you like to think about the crazy stuff, and
Oh yeah,
Um,
oh yeah.
you know,
Exactly.
that's the fantasy, right? It's kind
Yeah.
of what keeps you going, I think. So that's
Yeah.
why I thought it'd be good just to have a chat about that stuff and see what makes us tick, and just talk about some of the big heavy hitters out there that we're into, you know. But before we get into that, why don't we? If you want to move on, I think the
Check
sort of
out the new Breitling that was launched, inspired by the slow motion chronograph. So this is the original chronograph that was it was inspired from the slow motion 1960s chronograph. And
what's the slow motion mean? What does that mean? Do we know? What's the deal with this thing?
It says it was a slow motion chronograph of the 1960s.
Does it have a lower beat rate movement, maybe?
I'm not too sure. I haven't done enough research on this. I just looked it up just now.
So I think the snowflake hand is the chrono timer, right? And then you've got small seconds over on the sub dial, yeah.
Well, they've brought out this
and so
there, which is the blocky hand is the minute hand.
Yeah, that's right. But on the previous on the chrono, that snowflake hand or blocky,
it looks like
that's the chrono timer.
Yeah, it looks like it could be. Yeah,
and the running seconds is at the 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Now I was just thought I'd bring this up because we were talking about diver with chronograph functions on last week, weren't we? When did we like them? We all came to a bit of a conclusion that we didn't really like the chrono divers, didn't we? But revived it with this new look diver, and seemed to have taken the chronograph off and brought this back. I quite like it, to be honest with you. I think they're going for that Tudor snowflake look, aren't they? They're going for that. Definitely go for the Tudor market, and with the squared off indices and the brings to mind a look of a snowflake to me.
Can you go back to the vintage, to the slow mo? Let's go back to the first one. Okay, so square indices, snowflake hand. Okay, now let's go back to the new one. Okay. It's pretty much spot on, isn't it? Except it doesn't have the running seconds.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the new one it feels less cluttered. The original feels a bit too much for me.
I don't like that the dial is very small, because you know you have two rings around. You have the bezel and you have the inner bezel, and the dial is really small inside. Even though you don't need the inner bezel because you have the outer bezel, so why have both? You're not a chronograph.
And they've used a lot of space on the outer and the inner bezel. Before we've even got to the.
Yeah, I think they wanted to stay with the original, but like I would have understood if it's a chronograph that you one-to-one and re-inspire it, let's say. But I don't know. It feels like it could be a little bit smaller. Maybe it would be looking a little bit better.
This is 42 millimeters. This one, so it's a not bad size, I don't think. But they got some ones which go to 46 mil, which is
they got 42, 44, and 46.
Yeah. So they're working through the size range. So sticking to Breitling's big size, 46, then giving you 44 option, and then going down to 42. So I think this may be the 46 one. But just an interesting one that I thought I'd chuck in.
What about the? So this is a rubber. Show us the original one. The first one, was it rubber?
Yeah, there's on a tropic rubber strap, that one.
Like the dimensions feels right on this one somehow. The other one I don't know why, but it just from looking at it, it feels like the dimensions here look more symmetrical.
This one's cool. I like the thinner outer bezel on this watch, on the original, and then when you go to the new one, the outer bezel is a lot thicker.
Exactly.
And it sort of adds a lot of bulk, sort of visually to the piece, I think.
Yeah. This says there's inner bezel is redundant.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just have a minute track or something. You don't need the whole bezel. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not into it, to be honest. I mean, I think this is a bit of a. I mean, it's. I mean, personally, I just think they missed a really good opportunity to revamp the Super Ocean line.
Yeah.
You know, the Super Ocean line is a tool. It's pretty much a tool. It's a tool watch, right? It's a tool watch, but in that sort of price range and these days, you know, people don't really want tool watch divers. They want dress divers. You know, you're talking Submariner. Look at the Seamaster Professional. It's got a bit of bling to it. You know, they should have taken that line and really made a fucking, you know, a really good competitor for the Sub and the Seamaster. Instead, they've gone backwards now. They've gone back to the past. I just think it's a misstep, to be honest. I think,
it's what a lot of brands seem to do with revival pieces, though, isn't it? They tend to go to the original look of the revival watch and just bring it back.
But this is a dive watch. The original was a chrono, so it's not even.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a dive chrono. I get it, but
then do a dive chrono. You know what I mean? Like if you're reviving a dive chrono, do a dive chrono. Don't put take the chrono out, leave the bulkiness, and offer it in two major big sizes.
100%. Like Breitling's a chronograph maker. They're known for chronographs. They should have brought back this watch, exactly this.
Exactly like this. Yeah.
I'm with you, Abdul. Yeah, I agree. I just think I was really excited. I was pumped for a new Super Ocean line. I was really pumped for them to come out with something that was going to blow us all away. But I just feel a bit let down, maybe. So maybe it's my expectations, which are, you know, being messed with, and I shouldn't have expected anything from them, I suppose.
Yeah, so it's a miss from Breitling then for you, JCB. I thought you'd like that one, being a Breitling fan yourself. But
well, if they're gonna do it, like do it properly, like copy the original. Go back to the proper. Like this is pretty much exactly the same as the reference 810. Okay, so the design of this watch, sure it's bigger, but the dial, everything about it. If you picked up a reference 810, you'd look at it and it would look exactly the same. I think George Kern has probably. What he does is he picks from the Breitling catalog in the past and he mashes pieces together, and you can see that even with the Navitimer, right? The new Navitimer has taken the original logo, that AOPA logo, and they've put that on there. So he sort of tends to mash these pieces together. And I just sort of think, okay, stop looking back in the back catalog. You know, look forward. Give us something that's a cool new piece that we can get onto, you know.
Yeah, I'm getting tired, to be honest, of re-inspiration watches. Like it was cool at first, getting some vintage watches with the adequate water resistance, and then like what I like is when you release something that's exactly a copy of the original because it's a perfect design, looks great, and you update the movement maybe with a better movement, water resistance. But sometimes the formula is not right.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think from what I've seen, the general consensus is it's a bit of a bomb, but I always like to reserve judgment until I've got the piece in my hand. So I think most of us will.
Absolutely, yeah.
Until we get it.
You can't
It
tell
might
from
blow-
renders, can you? You can't tell from renders or photographs. You have to have the piece in your hand. I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's crack on with the our grails, shall we say, or our deal watches. Who wants to kick off? JCB or Jamie? Who wants to go first?
As you wish. As you wish. Should we do a wristwatch check before we get in?
Good call, man. Definitely.
Customary
Yeah,
wristwatch.
yeah.
Yeah. What do you got on?
I've got a solar powered gyre sea cleaner on. It's made of ghost fishing nets.
Oh yeah.
And
Recycled.
the strap, yeah, it's recycled, and the strap is made from 100% plastic bottles. So I'll take that off and show it. It's not very expensive, made by a small micro brand.
Cool.
Nice. Yeah. I love the story that you say. So fishing nets that have,
Yeah,
been
fishing nets from the Indian Ocean, discarded fishing nets from the Indian Ocean make the case, and the strap is made from plastic bottles. So it's a recyclable Eco Warrior watch. Yeah, for
green.
Solar powered as well. Yeah, keeping it green.
We'll go around. Jamie, you go next.
Yeah. So in light of the name of the show, the Grail, this is actually my Grail, which
look at that
beautiful watch.
Yeah.
Time. This was my Grail, and the 8 watches that I have on my list, I'm happy if I don't get any of them. I already have the Grail.
Yeah, that's a beautiful watch.
Jamie. That's gorgeous. I remember seeing that at the London Watch Show, and the Cloisonné dial is just gorgeous. Yeah.
Banger. Beautiful. What do you have?
I have on my. It's not mine, but I'm testing it for a week. A Seiko 5.
All right, nice.
Diver. As a grey dial, and
I like the way you've matched that grey dial with the grey NATO strap.
They actually sent it with this grey NATO. Like
and
one of the times that I'm everything great today. I didn't even notice, to be honest.
That colorway on that watch is really nice. That gray, it's really cool.
It's really nice, and it has a sandblasted case, so it just matches the whole aesthetics.
It reminds me of the Seiko Turtle, the Zimby edition, if you remember that one. The gray dial, the gray bezel, really nice piece.
Exactly, yeah.
Serena, Batgirl,
gorgeous, classic JCB watch, lovely.
Yeah, cool. That's a cool watch. I've been wearing this watch a lot. It's just a great everyday piece.
I really love that the bezel is a proper day-night indicator. More, black and blue. You can tell the blue for day and the black for night.
And I love the Jubilee bracelet. It's so much more comfortable for me. At least. Yeah,
Jubilee is gorgeous. Love it. I totally agree, Abdul. Yeah, lovely watch.
Cool. If maybe I'll go first. What do you reckon? And
just welcome a few more into the chat. Surti Danny, Chili Badger, Frederick Watches and Jewelry, Uncle Jongo, Rene De La Pans, Timepiece Bob already said hello. Yeah, great to see you all.
Everyone in the chat.
Cheers.
G'day. Cheers, man. Thanks for joining us. And as we go along, we saw Chili Badger's put down the datograph perpetual. Like as we go along, you guys put your grails in or put your pieces that you love.
Yeah, please do.
Datograph perpetual.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful one. That's a
Wow.
great one.
Yeah, definitely. Gorgeous watch. So it's kicking off. JCB?
Yeah, cool. So just if that's all right, if it's all right, actually, because I was looking at my list and I'm into some really complicated watches, watches that like most people would look at and go, "What the fuck are you talking about, man? That's just totally out there, right?" So I thought, just if you just bear with me 1 sec, if you'd indulge me, I thought I'd show you some stuff, like just to explain how I sort of got to this point. So when I was young, my dad, when he traveled, he used to bring me watches when I was a kid. So the first watches that I got were chronographs. Okay, so you can see here, this is one here. There's a little Seiko, that mainly Seiko quartz chronographs. It's not really coming up here. I put this one on a NATO. So this is my son's watch now. He wears this. You know, I've got another one here. My dad got me this one as well. Seiko quartz. Okay, Seiko. Another one, Seiko quartz chronograph. So in my head, when I was sort of growing up, that's what I thought a cool watch was. It's got to have subdials, and that sort of imprinted on me when I was small that's what a watch is. Like that's what a watch looks like. You know what I mean? So you know, and so there we go. Like here's the adult version now. Okay, so here's a Zenith. You know, you saw the Breitling before. So that's sort of, you know, sort of where I, you know, so it's sort of, it's taken me through to now. Even when I look at watches, you know, I'm looking for watches with subdials or things going on. There's a couple of exceptions on the list, and we'll have a look at them. But yeah, if you, I've got my
comes
screen.
from, yeah, I'll press add to stream. It comes from
Cool.
you've been indoctrinated from a young age, and you naturally look for certain aspects.
Yeah, that's it. So a lot of people are like, "Oh, I hate chronographs, and you know, I don't like perpetual calendars and whatever," and that's totally cool. So I think it's sort of like each person has their own thing, and I just sort of wanted to explain that to you guys so that you can sort of see like what makes me tick.
Yeah.
And just like what I did there. You know, as a collector, when I'm sort of looking at stuff, it's got to have some stuff going on for me to be into it. Like I generally hate three-handers. None of my watches have three hands. If they do, it's got a bezel or it's got something going on with it, right? There's one exception, I think, or two exceptions in the list, but generally they're pretty complicated. So I thought I'd start off with the first watch here, being a chronograph. This is a vintage Daytona. This is the 6263.
Yeah, beautiful. The big red.
Look at the design of this watch. Like it's fucking perfect for a chronograph. I think it's just so good. It's basically like the perfect watch. Really, it's just insane. It's so good.
Yeah, produced from 1971 to 1987, I believe. This one.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that's right. I pulled up this watchfinder video because they really this one in this condition that they've got is fucking insane. Like see, the thing about these ones is, and Rolex generally, right? In the 60s and 70s, Rolex was not popular at all. And even more so, the chronographs, the Daytonas were just like, no one wanted these watches, believe it or not, right? So that makes them really rare. To find them in really good condition, it's really hard. And I think, actually, you know what? That watch is so good, right? That it's actually a cover girl. It's on the cover of this book. You guys know the book?
All right, yeah.
This is the watch, man. Like I've loved this watch like ever since I sort of saw it, since I was a kid. And when it came out on the cover of this book, I was like, yes, like, you know, like it actually, you know, people recognize that this is a fucking cool watch. It's just an amazing piece. So I think the prices are, you know, they're pretty insane. Maybe I don't know. For a really good one, I think you'd be looking at about the 150 US kind of mark. I think you could probably pick up a beaten up one for, under 100, maybe. So maybe in the 80 grand range. It's a crazy amount of money to spend on a vintage watch. I think if you're going to get one, you'd want to make sure it was in really good condition like this one. And there you go. So you can see that, because I just love that aesthetic, that panda, that reverse panda aesthetic. I just really dig that for some reason. I don't ask me why. I just think it looks really cool.
that big red Daytona writing as well. In 1973, they started putting that on the majority of the Daytonas, and it came in different sizes. It came in smaller writing and larger writing, but the black acrylic bezel as well. That is the inspiration for the black ceramic bezels on modern Daytonas, and it's you can see
symmetry on the watch is amazing.
It's comes in a white dial as well, doesn't it?
Does it come in a white dial?
I believe it does.
Yeah, maybe it does. It does. I think maybe silver, maybe, and
Silver,
it also comes
maybe,
with a silver bezel as well. You can get it in black or silver bezel.
Right.
I really like this black bezel one. Obviously, I think because it's a 37 mil. It's a 37 mil. So with the black bezel, it'll make this one will look a little bit bigger to wear. Probably more like a 38, 39, I think. So even though it's got that vintage Daytona size, you're getting with the black bezel, it'll just sort of expand and fill up on your wrist.
These are these are starting at $75,000 and working their way up to the $5 million that Paul Newman sold for in 2020, aren't they?
Yeah, I was going to mention that, the Paul Newman, yeah. So there's obviously the Paul Newman, and then there was the Paul Newman 6263, which sold a few years after. So yeah, $5 million for that one. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Paul Newman dial, or the I think it's a 6264 maybe. I think that's the reference. I like this one much better. It's a lot cleaner. It just this is a timeless sort of sports watch, I think, and just a killer piece. So that's the only Rolex I've got on the list. Let's move on. Now, this is, I think, the only one that... this is the Recepi. So the Recepi Chronometre Contemporain. This is the number one, the first one. So he released number 2 just recently. And like that one's good too. Don't get me wrong, it's fantastic. And it's got a new movement. It's got deadbeat seconds. It's a much more superior technically. It's superior technically, that watch. But this one here in this black and rose gold configuration, when it came out, it just blew me away. Like I felt like it's just one of the most beautiful designed dress watches ever. Like he just fucking nailed this watch. It's so good. Beautiful watch. Just everything about it. It's just a fantastic piece. All handmade.
First released in 2018, wasn't it? And won the GPHG.
This was the GPHG in the men's category winner. Yeah. And actually, JCB himself, the actual man, JCB, Recepi gave him one of these watches, and he counts that as one of his favorite, like most prized possessions.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I've heard him speak about it in interviews as well. So this is the guy here
at Basel World and met him in 2018.
Really?
Yeah.
Who did you meet? You met Recepi?
Yeah, really cool guy. I met him like 3 years in a row every time I went to Basel. And the last time he was even like sitting inside in the meeting, and I was like just waving from outside. He left and he came out. He's such a humble guy, such a cool guy.
Wow.
Showed me the watches. Really like one of my favorite watchmakers as a human,
amazing. I mean, he's from Kosovo and went to live in Switzerland, and I mean, he worked for FP Journe for years, didn't he? And he's Done amazing
He
stuff.
started off. He started off his apprenticeship at Patek, and then he went to FPJ. So he's worked at both of those houses, and then he did some consulting work for a couple of years. I think he consulted to MBNF even, and then he went out on his own and started a Crivier when he got capital and had enough money to actually do it. So he's sort of set up his own shop with his brother.
A Crivier is a Greek name for precision, isn't it? It's a Greek word for precision, a Crivier.
Really, I didn't know that actually. That's I've actually been into Crivier since day one. There was an article by a blog to watch. They covered Recepi when he first came out, and I was looking at the pieces, just going, like, if you look at the Crivier brand pieces, the case that they use or that they've designed, it's unreal. It's really, really modern. It's really ergonomic. It's different. It's so different to anything you've ever seen. Really fantastic watches, the Crivier brand. And then he came out with this one, which is a much more traditional piece. And I just loved it. I just thought, for a dress watch, as I said, I'm not really into three-handers, but this one, for some reason, just jumped out at me. Like, it's just such a cool piece. Like, there's enough going on the dial.
You've got a Grand Fur enamel dial, haven't you? And it's beautiful. Yeah.
Just beautiful watch.
Yeah.
Stunning piece. I think the list price for these was about $50 US, $55 US, something like that. But these, on the secondary, I think I'd hate to think actually how much they'd be going for. Like
only 50 pieces made of each one. Yeah.
Really? Okay,
yeah.
There you go. Yeah, they'd be. I'd hate to think they'd be over 100K. I would have thought, if you could even find one.
If you could find one, exactly.
Yeah. I don't think it'd be hard pressed to even find one of these pieces, I reckon.
I mean, it's going for a 90s, 20s look. It's almost a sector dial, but not quite, isn't it? It's almost nearly a sector dial.
Yeah, if you know the simplicity from Philippe Dufour, he has a little bit from it. I think he really nailed this look.
You mean with the sympathy or the
simplicity? Simplicity from
from
Philippe Dufour. Yeah.
So I'll just pull up the number 2. So this one just dropped. I'm going to say, I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago. You can see here. So Thomas, there's more of that sector dial look because he's done the sub dial differently.
Yeah.
Still the Grand Fur enamel. This is a different sort of finishing, so a lot harder to produce these dials. This is a deadbeat second complication, so he's redesigned the whole movement for this watch.
Wow.
It's a super sick watch, this one. This is technically amazing, this piece, but you can see how the lugs are really long on this one. I'm just not 100% convinced with the design. I mean, look at the finishing on the dial. It's beautiful. But these lugs are just a little bit too long for me. I don't know why he's done that. So now, there's the rose gold with the white enamel. But I prefer the look of this one. I think this one just is a bit better. So that's the Recepi.
So the black dial for you, is it?
Yeah, black dial for me. Yeah, black dial. All my watches are darker, a black dial, because I've got really dark skin. White watches just tend to stand out too much. They just look stupid on me. So yeah, black, blue, dark grey, charcoal, sort of those tones are what I prefer. This one here, I wasn't much into gold. But look at that black and gold combination.
The rose gold black is perfect, just perfect. Yeah,
stunning piece. I would love to own one of those one day. Let's move on. What do we got here? I think this was just some video of the piece. Just some video porn of the watch that I found as well. And look at this thing, man. It's just so good, nice and thin. Look at that finishing. Look at how the paint is done. Like gilt. What do you call that? Gilt enamel, right? Something.
Yeah,
I don't know what
that's
to call it.
some gold gilt work there, isn't there? Definitely. Wow.
Perfect
Concave.
dress watch.
Gold stitching on the.
Yeah, on the leather strap. Yeah.
Let's move on. Talk about this one too much. Next one, Breguet 705.
Oh, Breguet. Don't do it.
Really cool.
They're my favorite brand of the moment. I'm just in love with Breguet. And to pick
Look
a
at this thing,
to
man.
pick a
This is the-
tradition as well. To pick a tradition is, that's what they're doing best. Breguet at the moment. I mean, I'd love a Breguet, but I couldn't afford a tradition. I could just go for a regular classic. But these
They,
are-
on the secondary one,
with the retrograde seconds as well, and the just this is knocking it out of the park. This one really doing it. I
Look at
mean,
this thing, man. Look at this thing. It's just
movements,
insane.
with these small dials and retrograde seconds, and I love it.
Yeah,
So
me as well.
good.
And
So this
until
is
now
the
we have
boutique,
two watches
the
like each
boutique
other,
edition.
GCB.
Sorry, Abdul.
We have two watches from the top 10 until now that we chose that are very similar to each other.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, I haven't put one of these on my wrist, but my AD near my office has one in the window. Like it's in a special box, and it's spinning around so that you can see all of it under the lights. It's just so good. When you see even these pictures, just don't do the watch justice. When you see it there in the metal, it's fucking amazing. It's just so good. Really, really, really stunning piece. Really, they've got obviously they've got a tourbillon version of this one as well, which is I think that's a cool watch as well. I was sort of picking between this one and the tourbillon with the fuse and chain
Fuse and chain,
tourbillon.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, but this one I just like this just the tradition with the retrograde seconds. I think it's something that you could wear with a suit in the office, and sure it might draw a bit of attention, but who gives a fuck? It's just a sick piece, man.
How much would this cost?
This is £29,000, Jamie. This one, £29,100 on the Breguet website.
Yeah, worth every penny.
Yeah,
Just such a beautiful watch, and I think it will attract the right attention. GCB, like if you're wearing a platinum date, everybody will be looking at you. Only the people who know watches will be looking. Hey, that's a cool watch.
What I don't get though is if they make it 30 meters water resistant, you're not going to be taking this anywhere near water, are you?
Yeah, I think they do that just so if you
rain or something.
Splash proof, yeah.
You do the washing
rain
up
or wash your hands or something like this. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, it's just I mean, you've got to have something like 30 meters just for washing your hands or giving it a wipe down or whatever.
I don't think Bill Sanders would like this one though, Abdul, because it's got a Breguet silicon balance spring.
Yeah.
He doesn't like his silicon, does he? No.
I wouldn't want to see 30 Danny give the 30 meter a run.
In the lake. In the pond. Yeah.
Horrified.
But this has got 239 components, this one. I mean, it's a great watch. I mean, lovely, beautiful.
These are fairly...
edition line is such a good, cool line from Breguet.
Are these fairly easy to get, or is it sort of...
Yeah, they're fairly... I've seen them in my AD, my local AD, and they've got the tradition line in, and
you don't, and also they're a lot cheaper on the secondary market as well. If you have a look on Chrono, you can pick them up for you can save 20-30% off the list price or something. So you wouldn't get it from the AD. But this particular one here up on the screen, this is the boutique edition. This the blue one. So you can only get this from the Breguet boutique. I think
I love the rotors.
They're also
I mean, I was going to say they're automatic. These ones, they're not They're self-winding. They're not hand wound, which is interesting. You get all this technology in a self-winding movement. You know, it's
Yeah.
amazing.
Platinum
Yeah,
as well,
really.
so
Yeah.
you get some heft to it.
Yeah, really, really cool piece. This one, love the tradition line from Breguet. Absolutely awesome. Next, let's go over to Germany, and
Oh,
we're gonna pull out. Sorry, Thomas. I know this was one of your watches too, but
love them.
Mine as well.
yeah, I love
The side work is,
the Zeitwerk, just the standard one, just the standard, just the black one
Yeah,
with the
love
white
the
gold.
side work. Love it. Oh.
This was one of the watches that really sent me down the rabbit hole of watches. When it came out, I think I was just sort of getting into watches, and I'd been just sort of dabbling, and then I saw this piece come out, and it just blew me away. Like the technology, this digital layout, the movement, the way the thing looks.
Yeah.
It's just like a revolutionary piece. I think it's based on an old clock in a train station or something, though. Like it's based on some old watch, but as a wristwatch, it just looks like nothing else you've ever seen. It's just it's a stunning piece of artwork from Langer. I think it's the coolest
I
watch.
prefer the back. I'd flip it
On the back,
See
yeah.
the back,
Yeah.
Well, the Opera House in Dresden, there was a clock in the Opera House in Dresden that Langer made, and originally inspired the date, the big date on the Langer 1, and also the Zeitwerk, the digital display. Because this clock in the Opera House has a digital display. So I think it came from that sort of in the Opera House in Dresden.
I mean, this thing sucks up so much power. Like the mainspring barrel, it's
amazing. It just I love watches with digital displays. I just think they're just stunning. Just really do.
Is there any other watch that does this? That
the IWC Paul Weber limited edition.
Yep.
Paul Weber. Yeah, there's also a Reverso with the jump hour, which is a bit similar. There's lots of jump hour watches. The Devathune DB28 digital.
Yep.
Yeah, there's quite a few,
but none as elegant as this one. To be honest, this one is just like got it right on the first time.
I haven't tried.
This black and white gold is so good, so good.
That's what I was going to say, Abdul. They got it right the first time. Like this one here, just the white gold with the black. I think it just looks the best.
Yeah.
Then you've got the Zeitwerk date. You've got the Zeitwerk lumen. You've got the honey gold, and you've got the striking time. You've got all these different variations of the watch.
Yeah.
But this one, I think the original and the best. They just nailed it. It looks so good. It's just so good.
Look at that.
Wow. Yeah, fantastic piece. Yeah. There you go, Jamie. That's the backside for you, mate, to have a look at. Look at that mainspring barrel. Huge power that this watch needs. I think the power reserve, though, is only something really low. It's like 30
hours.
Or 40 hours.
Yeah, 48 hours, and with a full wind, then you have to like.
Apparently, it takes like a minute to wind up this thing. It's, it's crazy. So that's the Zeitwerk. Love this watch. I just love the original. I think the original is the best. Great piece. Moving back to Switzerland. Let's get this is the ultra thin.
You really won the big Powerball.
Yeah. I'm not too sure.
Perpetual skeleton.
Yeah, so this is the ultra thin perpetual skeleton. Yeah. Beautiful. This is rose gold, and this is the latest one that's come out with the blue finishing. This rose gold and blue combo. It's absolutely stunning. I'm not a big Vacheron fan either. Like, I'm not a big fan of the overseas line generally. But something about this one just really works for me. I think it's maybe because it's got the ultra thin case and then with all of the skeleton perpetual calendar. I mean, it also comes with two other strap options as well. It's got a rubber strap and a leather strap that you can interchange. You just press the button on the back of the of the strap and you put it on. So this, even on the leather and the rubber, looks fantastic. I think it's just a smashing.
I've tried the ultra thin perpetual calendar on, but not the skeletonized version, and it is absolutely stunning. I mean, the calendar goes to 2,100, the perpetual calendar, and it's just such an amazing watch. But the skeleton version is, you really got it on this one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Amazing. Yeah. That's the kind of sports watch you want to wear when you have every other sports watch. You know, like, okay, I'm going to the beach on rubber with my perpetual calendar that can go swimming.
And the nice thing about it is it's got all this see-through stuff going on, but it's topped off by a moon phase, which looks really elegant on it, with the two moons and the starry sky. You know, it's that really is a sort of feature of it. I think the moon phase it's skeletonized all over, but the moon phase is just a little pop of color on. You know, really nice.
I've always been attracted to watches with the skeletonized, you know, to see the inner workings, what's going on under the bonnet, like you see under the bonnet of a car, under the bonnet of a watch.
Well, you think that's got a skeleton movement? Then check this bad boy out. This is the MB&F Legacy Machine Perpetual Evo. So this one came out, I think, 2020.
45 units of this.
Well, there's different. There's the black one. I think is limited to
15. I think they did a blue 15 of each color. They did a blue, an orange, and a white. I think.
And then there's an unlimited green one. So the green one is the production one.
Blue, orange, and black. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah. This watch is just I love MB&F just as a brand. I think it's more about. I mean, the watches are sick, right? But they're sick because Max Buser, he collaborates with the best people in the industry, and that's how he gets these innovations, right? He's learned. He figured out. I think when he was the head of Harry Winston's watch division, and he brought out the Opus series. He's the guy that's responsible for the Opus series at Harry Winston, right? And if you know from your history of the Opus series, you know, he got people like FP Journe to design the movements and some of the watches. He got Voutilainen involved. You know, he worked with all the best guys in the industry to pull out the Opus series. So he moved on from Harry Winston to start his own company, MB&F, and that's what MB&F actually means: Max Buser and Friends. It's all about it's all about innovation. It's all about
collaborating with other people. Yeah.
Yep.
100%. Yeah. So I just love that as a philosophy for a watchmaker. It's not just about doing everything in house. It's about, hang on a minute, other people out house do shit better than we can do it. So why don't we get the best people involved? And that's what they do. I think it's fantastic.
It's 44 mil wide.
Even loomed.
17.5 thick. This because of the domed glass.
Yeah, the dome glass is what makes this one really thick. Yeah, Thomas. So I think the original.
I think it's been pressure, heat to be fixed to the zirconium case. It's been heat
treated.
Yeah, heat treated. Yeah.
So I think the original Legacy machine, this is called the Evo because it's an evolution of the original Legacy machine Perpetual. The original Legacy machine Perpetual was a bigger watch. It was quite a bit bigger. It was thicker. I think it was about 22 mil thick. So this one, they've brought it down to about 17, which is still, you know, it's relatively thick, but it's still thick, but relatively it's thinner than the original one. And I think it would be wearable because that 17 is at the top of the curve of the sapphire. It actually the sapphire is quite curved, so you can see there from this picture that the case is pretty thin. So I think I think it's 44 mil. So I think it's a sort of a wearable piece. On the rubber strap, you could get away with wearing this one pretty much all around town, doing whatever you're doing. Just a banging.
581 components in this. They'll be using the H. Moser double hairspring, won't they, on this one, I believe?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that, Thomas. I don't think so.
I think MB&F do use the hairsprings by Moser.
The hairspring, yeah.
Moser hairsprings, yeah.
Yeah, the watch movement was that the movement itself is actually designed by an Irishman. I think his name's Stephen McDonald or something like that.
McGonagall, Stephen McGonagall.
Yeah, that's the guy, McGonagall. Yeah, he produces he designs.
Yeah, John and Stephen McGonagall makes some amazing watches. Yeah.
There's a lot going on. So you've got the time. You've got the day of the week, the month, the day, is it the power reserve?
Yeah, so here there's power reserve here, and then you've got the leap year indicator on this side as well. So that's your perpetual.
Wow.
Yeah, that's your perpetual calendar function.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure about like the time, like in terms of the adjustments, like when you would need to adjust it, but I think it's something crazy like 200 years or something like that.
Yeah.
It's a super cool piece. I'll probably get it I'll probably get this one here just in the black, I think. Not with the white strap, but with a black strap or something like that. I think this green one's pretty cool too. Green with black, that's pretty sick. Yeah, take your pick. I'd take any one I could get, to be honest. Just a cool piece. All right, let's move on. What do we got? Okay, another perpetual calendar.
Just I'd say quick hello to Alex at Perpetual Time and Jonathan Quayle-Higgins joining us in the chat. Good to see you guys.
Hey, Alex. Hey, Jonathan.
Hey, fellas. What's up? Guys. I'm not a massive AP fan, but this one, the ceramic, I love the ceramic pieces. This one here, another perpetual skeleton with moon phase for you, Thomas.
Yeah,
this
released at SIHH 2019, this one. It's,
beautiful.
374 components in this watch. Quite a banger, this one. Ceramic. Piece. Amazing.
This would be my everyday watch once I win Powerball. This would be just like I'd sort of wear this.
130,000 Swiss francs. This was when it was first released. So
yeah, the market for these. I was watching Watch Eric the other day. He was talking about APs, and this one is about $500,000 US is the market at the moment. So it's gone. These APs, anything ceramic, AP, and open. You add those three words together, and the price just is fucking It's up the top. Crazy.
Yeah, I mean this is the caliber 3135, which was basically the predecessor to the caliber 3134, which is used in a lot of Rolex, but just a skeletonized version, I believe. So it's
yeah.
I
think it's 5134, Thomas. Not 3.
Yeah, you're right. 5135, 5134. Sorry. Yeah. So.
Yeah, really, just a stunning piece. Yeah, as I said, I'm not the biggest AP fan, but when they do this black ceramic, it's just super cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, let's move on. This is sort of we're topping out now. This is my last piece. This is a Patek, the 5970p. The 5970. I think, look at the design of this watch. So this was produced between 2004 and 2010. Thierry Stern, when he took over the reins of Patek, this was his baby. This was his watch that he sort of came out with. And he's sort of taken the perpetual calendar, the 3970, and gave it a new look. It's got this the different case with these, you can see these lugs here are sort of pretty chunky. It's just a stunning piece. So they produced, I think, the platinum ones were in the last couple of years of the run, maybe from 2008, I think. So
Yeah, you can tell you're a chronograph fan with this one because this is perpetual calendar moon phase with chronograph.
yeah, so this
Grand
is the thing,
complication.
right?
You got everything. This one.
Yeah,
grand
so this is
complication.
this is grand complication from Patek. This is what Patek does. This is what they do. They own this space. It's the Patek perpetual calendar with chronograph. You know, they basically invented this fucking niche of watches. You know, this is their territory, man. This is what they do.
King. Patek is
This
king.
is the king, man. Yeah, this is their.
Yeah.
And out of all the perpetual calendars, out of all of those grand complications, you know, you got the 3970, you got the 5270. This 5970 to me is the one. This is the best designed one. It just looks great. It's the right size. It's 40 mil. I think it's 13.2, so it's not super thick. It's just stunning. And they got, this is the same design. They got the design right with this, like with the first, they just designed it and that was it. The 5270, for example, which came after this one, there's 3 versions of that. There's a Mark 1, 2, and 3, and they changed them because they had some little quirks that just they didn't get it right. This one, they got it right from the start, and they didn't mess with the design at all.
Yeah, this is a 2009 watch, and you can see it stood the test of time. You know, it's still fetching $400,000.
They always put a little diamond at the bottom. That's how
the
you know it's
platinum
the
pieces.
Platinum. Yeah, they do that. I just love, like as I was saying before, so you can see where, you know, you've seen the watches that I've picked. They're pretty complicated. They've got a lot going on. This one, perpetual calendar and chronograph. It's just the fucking Big Mac. It's the burger with the lot.
Wow.
It's the watch, but at the same time, it's wearable. You know, it's not a huge watch. It's sort of the perfect sort of businessman's watch. You just wear. This is the only watch you would need just to wear during the week. You know, if you're rocking into work, into the office, you just chuck this on.
It does everything. It's got the perpetual calendar. It's got the moon phase. It's got the time. It's got the chronograph. I mean, what more do you need?
Yeah.
Everything in there.
Leap year indicator over there, and this one doesn't need setting until, I think it's the same as the VC Thomas 2100. It'll go for it'll adjust for irregular months, leap years. Just stunning technology when you think about it in a hand wound mechanical watch. So that's sort of my 8. I'm going to throw this one in just lastly, because we were talking about, so all of those watches are super expensive, right? Or not all of them, but most of them. This one here, we were talking about, like Grails, but something that's sort of attainable. This is still fucking expensive, but for a chronograph lover, I think you still got to look at the 5170, the 5170p. This is the 5170G white gold. Just look at that thing. Absolutely stunning piece.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing this in as a sort of a just a wild card as my last piece.
Is this a ground for enamel dial? This one?
Not sure, Thomas. I think it does. I think it is.
Yeah.
The Grand Four enamel with the white gold brigade numerals. I mean, you put brigade numerals on a watch. Yeah, so good. Like, it's perfect. The watch after this one, the 5370p, is just way expensive. Like, it's just that's like 300 grand. This one's still, I mean, yeah, look, it's fucking expensive. Don't get me wrong, but I think it's sort of like, you know, it could possibly happen one day, maybe. You know, if I fucking worked hard enough and just saved up enough money, maybe. Would I spend that much money? Who knows? But if I got a deal, if I was maybe under 100k, I would definitely look at this watch. I reckon it's great.
Jonathan saying to service that Patek may be bloody expensive and probably take forever, but an amazing piece.
Yeah, Who cares? I mean, all the watches we've seen now, it's just all of these watches are going to cost heaps to service. Like,
Mhm.
you're going into it knowing that it's going to cost you a couple of grand minimum to service it. It might take 6 months, whatever. But I just look at this thing. This will look good in 1,000 years from now.
Timeless.
When your great whoever has got this watch in their hands, that it'll just look as good then as it does today. It's just absolute banger, beautiful.
Absolutely, yeah.
Alrighty, guys, that's the JCB sort of
Roundup.
top 8 at the moment. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
What was
Very
your
beautiful.
What was your favorite out of the lot then, JCB? What would be the ultimate out of those 8?
I reckon if I had to have one, it would be this one. I think the 5970p. It's just like
Patek is king, eh, Jamie?
yeah, I reckon.
You said it.
Yeah, I think so. Like, it's because it's got the chronograph as well. Like, it's a Patek. It's a grand complication from Patek. You can't mess with that. Like, when for me, like as a watch guy, that's sort of like that's the sort of the top. That's what you aim your sights on, and I think no one does it like them. And look at that thing. It's fucking just insane. It's just the most
so much work
piece,
for master watchmakers that they never do. It just takes so much effort, and you feel this effort when you get the watch. You know what I mean?
There've been hundreds and hundreds, maybe thousands of hours over a bench working on that piece that goes on your wrist.
Yeah. What about you guys? Any favorites from the list?
Mine is the Lange, the Zeitwerk.
Mine's the Vacheron.
I think I quite like the MB&F Legacy machine. I quite like that, just as a sort of. I quite like quirky watches, and I think the Legacy machine is something that you could just pull out and just really enjoy, really have a bit of fun with, you know.
It's a great piece, man. That MB&F do just amazing work. Cool. I'll leave it there, Phil.
That's great, JCB. Thank you very much.
No worries. Cheers.
For sharing.
No Blank Pen from Jonathan Higgins III saying, what? No blank pen and your name yourself, JCB. Hey, you know what? I actually went to a blank pen event the other day in Melbourne. They had an event at an AD, and you know what? Like, they just don't. There's nothing there that does it for me in blank pen. I don't know about you guys, but there's nothing there that just grabs me by the neck and just says, "Hey, man."
I've looked at their Villaret dress watches, and they've got this sort of squealy second hand, and I don't really like the Villaret dress watches, but I don't mind the 50 fathoms. I do really like it, to be honest with you. I do really like it. It's got a place in my heart, and I must say the Barracuda that they did, that edition, amazing. I thought 40 millimeters down from 45. You know, I thought that was stunning. That would be my pick. Time for a username change then.
Well, the B actually is stands for beaver, not beaver. So beaver is always good on my books. So I'll keep the name. Jamie, let's go, man.
Okay,
right then.
Let's do it.
Nice one, JCB. That was great. Thanks for that.
Really
great late piece.
I
I think
scribbled
that'll
down.
sort of shows you what goes on in my head. Anyway, there you go.
I scribbled down the Breguet Tradition 7097. I want to have a good look at that in my off time.
Cool.
Okay, let me share my screen.
And I totally understand you, GCB, from the point of having watches when you were young, and then it affects your selection. Because I had the same thing, but exactly the opposite. My father used to
Yep.
give me a lot of dress watches, like older 33 millimeter dress watches, quartz, and
Okay.
then mechanical. And
Yeah.
I love like time only watches.
Yep. Yeah, it goes to show, hey, when you're young, how impressionable you are,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my first one is a step up. It's a 5531 rose gold minute repeater,
Oh,
world time.
minute repeater world time. I
Minute
didn't realize.
repeater. So
Wow.
on the left
Yeah.
side, you've got the
Yeah.
little
I
slide.
love minute repeaters. They're probably my
Mhm.
favorite application. And
Yeah, 40 millimeters. It's just exquisite.
Mm-hmm.
Not, yeah, just perfect. You got obviously the cloisonné enamel dial. This is Lake Geneva, the vineyards. Yeah,
that's
yeah,
stunning, Jamie.
Yeah, it's so beautiful.
yeah. It's the suggested retail is $560,000 US, but of course it's application having
Yeah.
bought
Minute
the
repeaters,
whole.
world time.
Yeah.
What's the deal,
Everything
Jamie?
has
Like,
work.
what's the market price though? Like, if we wanted to go buy one and we weren't, applicants, would you be able to find one on the market? Do you know, like, where they got it? Yeah, pop it in. Let's see if what they
2
got.
million. 2 million euros.
Whoa!
2 million. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow!
What?
Yeah.
2 million euros.
Yeah.
Woo!
So now you have 2 out of 10 million that you won in the lottery.
I thought my budget was under $1 million. You know?
No. This is Powerball. This is if you've been dropped millions in front of your lap.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful watch. Look at that.
Wow.
Wow.
You got the hobnail.
What's going on there?
I didn't realize they did this one, Jamie.
Yeah.
A world time minute repeater as well. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, that's taking it to the next level, man.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
And 40 millimeters, it's not excessive, it's not too
Wow.
small.
So it's using a
Perfect.
micro rotor like we saw on the movement.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting though that they've got the Lake Geneva enamel and not a world time type of picture
Oh.
like the other ones, like you've got
Mhm.
a globe type of thing. I mean, it's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. It's just interesting observation that it's a world time, but it's located on Geneva.
It's for,
Maybe the home is Geneva, right?
Exactly, and also the father of Henry, he was a big sailor, right? He used to go sailing on Lake Geneva. So they have this thing
Tribute
for Lake
to him, yeah.
Geneva, and then the vineyards, and it's everything Patek. You've got enamel, which is an art within the art of watchmaking. You got the minute repeater. I mean, that's just an incredible, and I haven't got a video to show you, but I can only imagine just to hear the sounds. I mean, it's
Jonathan's saying, do you think it's a shame that if they don't do it in platinum?
No. I don't like platinum really for this. For this, yeah. I love.
I think
this
maybe because of the sound of because gold maybe sounds better than platinum. That might be right.
Good point, Abdul. Good point.
Wow, and look at that. Look at that there.
Yeah.
The color
Maltese
chart.
Cross.
Yeah. Wow. So yeah, that's my first one. My
Stunning,
second one.
Jamie.
My second one.
The ellipse.
I've really come to love this watch over the
the
past few
ellipse.
months.
Interesting.
Golden
Wow.
ellipse. And how they actually make it, this is the dial is effectively one piece of metal, one piece of gold. They gore out the gaps and then they hand finish. So they'll gore out the bigger gaps and then they'll hand finish. So it's very intricate.
It's all one piece.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then of course you got the enamel. But yeah, very just beautiful Beautiful. I like this a lot.
Art
Yeah.
in wrist form.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just art.
Hell yeah.
Really. Wow.
Got a little video to show
That,
you.
yeah. I mean, I would put that in my living room on a little stand, like, spinning around all day. I wouldn't. I don't think I'd wear that. I'd have that in as a fucking museum. It's a museum piece, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just
Sick.
wonder how difficult these might be to get at retail, because obviously a lot of the attention's on the Aquanaut, the Nautilus, but I don't know what's the if you come into the AD and you ask for this, you're sort of taken them by surprise.
I think you have to be on a preferred list or something like that for these artistic pieces, because they're really limited.
Okay.
You have to
Yeah.
worldwide.
Yeah, they'd only be producing like fucking a couple of these things a year, I would have thought.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Because the time that you take to gorge all the and maybe they have like a rate that maybe 3 out of 6 or 3 out of 7 dials would be damaged, so they have to just throw them out and start again.
So what's this one? 68,000 euros. This one.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
Beautiful.
I did
Stunning.
check the double on the grey market.
And the grey market double, right?
Double.
Wow.
Yeah.
Stunning.
But yeah,
I think the reason why it might not be as popular, I think, is probably the size.
Size, yeah.
I think it's a small watch, right? It's like
34.5. Yeah.
34. Yeah. Okay. So I think given that, I mean, that's probably why not many people know about it or would be into it that much. But that's probably the only thing that probably goes against it in that respect, because 34 and a half is pretty small. It's like it's almost like a lady's watch, to be honest.
Yeah, it's probably approaching getting into reverso territory.
Yep.
It's thin.
Yeah.
It's thin and long.
It's thin and long. Yeah, I was just gonna say it's like if you want to splurge on a bit of a rectangular watch, like instead of getting the GLC Reverso, you're getting yourself something, or maybe if you want to get like a Cartier, but you have a bigger budget, that's the one to get like that. That's the artwork on the wrist.
If you rock up with this, I mean, your watch is this is pure class.
Yeah, agree.
Rare handcrafts.
I believe Donald Trump wears an ellipse, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's like a gold one though, I think.
Yeah, a gold one. Yeah.
Cool. Now the next one, we saw this at the London Watch Show.
Oh yes.
I really fell in love.
Metro. What a watch.
This one, it's the split seconds. You see it just going crazy.
The 8 counts of a second. Yeah. Stunning, Jamie.
Yeah,
really is
I
fantastic
really, really love this. And you see this my Grail list. It's actually, apart from the first one, which was 500,000, 2 million on the grey market. This is fairly if you work hard for 3-4 years, you could and it's probably, I think it's like
cheaper.
Half the price of this on the grey
grey market. Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is stunning. You got the double because it's got two
barrels.
So I think you wind it one way for one of them, and then you wind it the other way for the other.
Yeah, GLC masters in complications, really fantastic.
Yeah, and also, like we talked about the skeleton, I love that you can see some, under the bonnet, what's going on inside there.
Yeah. Oh, it's a really classy watch, this Jamie.
They make sick watches, man.
Yeah,
really
rose gold. I'd take that. I'd take this all day. And
yeah,
what more do you need? You got the moon phase, just perfect. I love JLC. JLC, so nice.
They're not getting enough respect, to be honest, but they're one of the best. And after the Doctor Strange movie, I think I noticed the prices are just going up now from the complication GLC, especially the ones that have perpetual calendar.
Yeah, yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, just one last look at this. The split seconds.
Yeah, I mean, just to see that running is just amazing. Just to see a delight to watch it.
The
I remember-
only thing that might be a little bit for me is 42 mil, and I just wonder if that's because my Patek it's 38.5, and I've got it just feels so comfortable, so perfect. I do have a 42, which is the Seamaster, Omega Seamaster 300M, and I
Yeah.
feel like 42 might be my limit.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the only problem I could see with this. I wouldn't want to order it. I'd need to get hands on and actually see it.
Try it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know how big your wrist is, Jamie?
Yeah, just a normal wrist, 7.5.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
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 7.5.
Yeah. I find I wear watches between 40 and 43. 43 is my limit.
Yeah.
So 42 could be all right for you.
I think this might be quite thick as well, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you've got a 42 and it's thick, it obviously that it makes it a much bigger watch. Yeah, if you're gonna have like the bigger watch you get, the thinner it should be for sure.
And the shorter lugs as well. So you have inner lugs, so you can the curvature around your wrist.
Yeah. Okay.
Those lugs, those lugs
are
are pretty good actually.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
They curve down nicely. They're not too
Really
long.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So my next watch is a woman's watch. Don't laugh, because during my watch collecting journey, I in order for me to sort of get away with what I've gotten away with, I've had to chuck a few watches towards the missus.
I've got a few for the missus. Yeah.
Yeah. So
No
I've always thrown her a few, and she's kind of
Very good of you.
She's not streaming or anything like us fanatics, but she she appreciates it what it is for what it she so anyway, I've got 2 watches for her. I completely fell in love with this watch.
Wow.
Rendezvous, dazzling star. They released it at Watches and Wonders this year, and it just captured my imagination.
Wow.
So I'm gonna quickly play this. So I think it's between 4 to 6 times an hour. The shooting star goes off at random.
Yeah.
So it's unpredictable. 4 to 6 times an hour it will just go off. Of course, you can do the pusher and you can manually set it off. But I just have this imagination of walking down the street and looking at your wrist to check the time, and suddenly you caught it at the right moment and you caught the shooting star.
Wow.
Yeah. So if money was no object, I would love to get her that.
It's like the animated Snoopy on the back of the Silver Snoopy Award, didn't it? It's a moving disc. Yeah. Lovely.
What was that? 85 thou?
Yeah, you're 80,
88,
95,000 dollars. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's
but so beautiful, really, really, and just lovely. I love it.
Is that an option for the Mrs. JCB?
Oh, that man! My missus would just be loving it. I'd be loving it too if I gave her one of those. Yeah. She'd be loving me long time after that. Yeah. Oh my god! That's fucking hell. That's such a cool lady watch.
So cool.
Yeah, really nice. Good choice, Jamie.
Yeah, the Aventurine dial, the randomness of this shooting star that comes out, just a very cool idea.
And as Jonathan says, an Aventurine dial.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
There's lots of diamonds on there, but it doesn't look like overdone. It doesn't look cheap or nasty. It looks really actually just classy. It looks done nicely.
And best of all, it's JLC. It's JLC. Best of all.
It's bacon. Sick watch.
Cool. Now the next one is also for the missus. This is the last one for the missus, but this is another one where my imagination
Van
just
Cleef and
ran
Arpels.
wild.
Oh yeah.
Ah,
Van Cleef and
Arpels.
Arpels.
Yeah.
So it's
I like the. Did Van Cleef did the fairy? Is that the fairy one
yeah.
that they
Well,
had?
they've got all different creations.
Yeah.
Poetic. They have a division or a category called poetic creations.
Okay.
So within the poetic, yeah, this is where you're going to find that fairy one.
Because
Yeah.
I remember I think we were looking at that on my channel when it came out. I think it was a GPHG last year, the fairy, and that was just blew me away. It's such a cool watch. The fairy, the hand moves around the dial to tell the time, and I just loved it.
So I'll explain this watch. So you have obviously the hours, and you have the minutes. The lady is on this side of the bridge. The man is on this side of the bridge.
Okay.
They meet for a kiss at 12.
At midnight.
Wow.
Midday or midnight.
Midnight.
So as the minute, let's say it's 2 p.m. Well, the girls are way down here, but he keeps walking up because it goes to 60 every hour, right? 10, 20, the minutes. Every hour he gets to the middle of the bridge and she's not there.
She's not there.
And he goes back down. So I'm gonna play this.
Poor guy.
Brilliant.
He comes all the way up and then he keeps getting sent back down.
That's hilarious. That's so funny.
It's amazing.
But eventually, come 12 o'clock, he gets
romance finally arrives.
Under the moonlight. It's Paris as well.
Brilliant.
The bridge. Yeah, this Paris. I got a note. Yeah, under the moonlight on a bridge in Paris.
Wonderful.
Just beautiful.
What an amazing watch.
They get a prolonged kiss as well at 12. It's not like a quick, and then it holds the kiss for a couple of minutes.
Story, very romantic watch. Yeah.
So I'd love to give her that as well. And then she's done.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty. What size is that? It looks sort of big. It's like 38.
Size 38.
38, yeah.
That's okay. 38.
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay. You know, give and take because of the creativity.
100%. Yeah. That's cool.
That's so cool. And I like the button, so you can press on the button and see the kiss.
Cool. Yeah, watches with complications like that are just really cool. So what's the fun? That's all the fun about watch collecting, I think.
Yeah.
Yep. Then
Langer
one moon phase. I did see this as well in the flesh. Me and Dodger was in London, and we went and had a look at this. I'd be very pleased to take this.
Very nice.
Yeah, sick. Watch.
I didn't go crazy, I know with Lange I can go really crazy, but just a simple, I call it simple, but really it's, it is a creation in on its own, but I didn't go excessive. I know we're talking Grail, but I didn't go nuts with this. Lange 1 moon phase, I'd be delighted.
Like a lot of those super crazy complicated Langers, like the Datograph Perpetual and the triple split, they look, they don't look as elegant and classy as these watches. These are the ones that you can wear every day and they look great. Those super crazy complicated ones, they're cool and all, but these are the ones that you want. These are the ones that you'll wear, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you could wear this every day of your life.
100%.
Yeah.
Now I nearly made it without a Rolex because when we think of Grail, Rolex just doesn't come into. I think you see with the watches, a lot of these have been on leather straps, maybe all of them. But if I was a boss, I'd add a president.
Oh yeah,
Day president, all gold. Champagne dial. It's not excessive, but I'd add this Why
I
not?
think it's a classic piece. It's a classic piece
Yeah.
of day-date. It always has been, hasn't it? It's been with classics since the 70s and, well, since it was launched, but, people recognize the day-date. They know what it is. They know it stands for, they know when they see one on you that you've someone with accomplishment, you're someone with that's the
The
boss.
boss.
Basically.
You're a
Yeah,
fucking
the
boss.
boss.
You've made it.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're the boss.
Elite, the president,
Yeah, you're the boss.
CEO.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love, yeah, but this wouldn't be my first of all the 8. I had 8, which was a lot to choose from, so it managed to get in there. But it's not really a grail for me, if I'm being completely honest. I'd quite happily eliminate this.
I
So
love the dates as well.
my final, let's get rid of that. My final is the Patek 5396G annual calendar, moon phase, 38.5 millimeter diameter, white gold. I studied this watch so much. I watched every single YouTube video about it. I've seen every Instagram video with the hashtag 5396G. I've obsessed about this watch, and I'm determined to get it. But it's on my Grail list. I would, love to get this one day.
Yeah.
JCB, you had the perpetual calendar. I kind of feel like I'd settle for second best annual calendar. Like I know how amazing perpetual is and all the rest of it, but if I could just get the annual calendar, I'd be over the moon.
Yeah, fuck yeah. The other watch that I love, Jamie. I don't know if you after you talk about this one, pull it up.
Yeah.
It's the 5905P. Chuck that one in.
5905p.
Yeah, put that. Look at this. This is the annual calendar in blue.
Yeah.
Fucking banging piece, man. This one, I would happily have that.
Ooh, yeah.
The blue one.
Piece. It's an annual. It's got a chronograph too, so it's annual count with a flyback.
It has to have a chronograph if JCB's getting it done.
But I mean,
have a chronograph on it.
what I'm saying is, like, I get it, Jamie. Like, you don't have to go out. You don't have to have the fucking burger with the lot. You can have a restrained piece. Like, I totally get it. Like, they make so many watches that fall into the Grail category. Like, honestly, they make so many unreal watches. It's just like take your pick, whichever one takes the fancy.
But this is actually 50,000. I mean, it's big money, of course, but if you work really hard, you save your money, there's no reason this can't be achieved. This could be free of those bloody Pepsis. 15 grand, 30 grand, 45 grand. Get free Rolexes for 15 grand each. You've nearly got enough. And you put 3 of those to this.
That 50, that's sort of like the price of a grey market Daytona or something like that.
Exactly. How many people have got? Loads of people have got more than 3 Rolexes or 1 Daytona. You just cash the Daytona in and take this, and it's what more do you need? This is it.
Yeah.
But this is the one that I really want, and actually I'm gonna try and achieve it. I got my name down for it, and she said towards the end of the year she should have it. So
that's white gold, is it, or platinum?
White gold.
White gold,
White gold, white dial.
So you got annual calendar with moon phase.
I would prefer this over the Lange one, moon phase. If I was to pick between the two, because they're pretty much the same watch.
Okay. Yeah, classic. Yeah, it's a classic piece.
Yeah,
for sure.
Calendar in the collection is a great choice. I think a great.
Voila, that's my dream.
Beautiful. Some
all my dreams.
Great collection, Jamie.
All my dreams in the bin.
Oh,
I didn't win the lottery.
No, you never know. It might happen.
Maybe. Well,
Yeah.
I better keep it.
14 million to 1 chances in the UK for winning the lottery. So that's your chances.
There's one Rolex that I like actually. It's coming into my brain lately. I'm gonna pull it up. Where is it? This one here. This one here,
Yes.
the rose gold with the black,
Flex, yeah.
Yeah.
and there's this configuration in the Daytona, the modern one on the Oyster Flex. Fuck, man, this is like they're so good. If I was like a baller, like became a boss, that would become my everyday sort of watch. I reckon I'd get rid of this thing and wear this Daytona. I was thinking about Rolex. I had one on my list. And I got rid of that because I like the vintage one. But this would be the modern one that I like. Yeah, cool piece.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, I like
Something
the Flex as well.
What did you think to the meteorite dial they came out with on the Daytona?
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, it's all right. But as you guys know, like I like dark. I like to have a black dial.
Yeah, sure.
What? I don't mind the meteor. I think it's white gold, isn't it? White gold meteorite. Meteorite. Oh,
I think there is rose gold meteorite as well.
Oh, I think they have too, don't they? So there's different ones, yeah. Rose gold and yeah, there's all
Yellow
different
gold, yeah.
configurations, right? Yeah, you can get different ones. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the meteorite, to be honest. It's not really my deal. It's good. Don't get me wrong. If someone gave me one, I'd be happy. But I don't think because the extra coin for a meteorite is like it's like chuck on another 20 grand or something, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's another nice watch on top, just for the dial to be different a bit.
Yeah. I think for me in Rolex, there's not too many Grail watches, but the Daytonas with the gold Daytonas on the Oyster Flex is pretty. That's for me. That's a pretty cool sort of little niche. I think maybe fine.
Yeah.
If all these flippers and all these investors just fucked off and left us alone, then, you know what I mean? Like we might have a chance of getting one because these are expensive, but they're not out of they're not super crazy expensive.
No.
They're like in Australia, I think it's about 50 grand for a gold one, not with the meteorite one. Like that's still a shitload of money, but you could pull it off if you're earning some good coin. 50K is not out of the it's not super out there. Yeah, I don't know. So I think that's it. But yeah, I like this. The other watch in Patek, we had a look at it before. This one here, the 5905.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites as well from Patek. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, these ones. I don't know how much they go for. Maybe the list price. Have they got it on the Patek website?
I can't get on with that date layout. 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and 2 o'clock. I don't dig it myself. But
I don't like that. Yeah.
Their own, I mean.
Yeah, I hate it when they just put everything together in the same plane, and it just looks like maybe just use on the right and the left. You have a lot of space. So this one with the aperture dial, I really like as well.
I just want to see how much what the price is on this thing. Come on, man. Sorry, guys.
Right bomb.
78.
72. 78.
Okay.
Right.
It's pretty expensive. What do you guys think of this thing here, the Portuguese annual calendar? Any thoughts?
I quite like that.
Looks good, yeah.
I like that calendar layout. I mean, saying that I didn't like the Patek one, this is a little bit closer together. I mean, it's
But you have separation still, at least.
yeah,
And it's the whole window is just border lined with the double white lines. So I have everything in a neat way. Power reserved, 8 days. Really like it.
Interesting
Simple
that
but very elegant.
no one, there's not many sort of, you thinking about sort of Grail pieces. IWC doesn't really come into the conversation, does it? They don't really play in that sort of
Yeah.
uber luxury type of plane, you know?
Like if you look on the Paul Weber, it's like the cheaper version of a Zeitwerk, it's like 25,000.
Yeah.
So instead of getting a Zeitwerk for 100,000, you pay the 25 and you get an IWC that does the same thing.
Yeah.
What about this? If I can just show this one as a, I think it's pretty much the same as the one you were showing, except without the chronograph.
Yeah, it's got a calendar and moon phase. Yeah. What's this one? The 5205G. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, very. It's basically the same watch except the complication is different. Yeah. Take a pick. I'm a chronograph guy, so I'll take the chronograph. I think you're a calendar
I'll take
guy.
the chronograph.
Take the calendar. Yeah. Thomas, you like some Pateks, don't you? You're into some Pateks, like more
5320.
5321.
5320, I believe it is. The cream dial, the one the rose gold dial, but I think it's
a world timer.
Yeah.
No, it's an annual calendar. I think it's a 5320, or it might be the 5325.
Yeah, it's a 5320G, so it's a white gold. That's a perpetual calendar, actually. That one.
Yeah.
Yeah, really interesting looking piece. That one. It looks very.
Yeah, they did a cream dial version, which I don't like the salmon dial as much, but the cream dial version I think is really nice. They discontinued the cream dial. Only discontinued the cream dial.
I like actually the salmon dial. I really like
it. Do you?
Yeah. But I would like it in any color, to be honest. 85, yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Grand. Grand complication, yeah. No, my favorite is the 5960.
Go to the grand complication page, Jamie. Yeah, just let's have a look at this shit. This is the stuff, man. This is where dreams are made and broken for watch lovers. So heavy hitters here are the 5204. If you can find that one. Yeah, get onto the 5204, Jamie. If you can find that one. Yeah, that one there. That one there, on the right.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now that's a perpetual calendar with a split second chronograph. Okay. So it's not just chronograph; it's a perpetual calendar with split seconds. This is a super heavy hitter piece from Patek. Yeah, but look at. I mean, it's I love this watch. I love the design, but look at it's a thick, big sort of watch.
Look at that movement, though.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm losing.
You lose yourself in it.
Wow.
Yeah, this is sort of up. This is in the sort of top of the tree of complications at Patek. I mean, there's more higher ones, but this is right up there at the top. They're insane piece.
Yeah, thick
watch. Yeah, that's the only thing. It's a bit of a chunky one, but as a complication, perpetual calendar with split seconds. That's fucking mental.
And moon phase. So what can you need more? Yeah, it's just.
This is the leap year. Is that
leap year?
Yeah. I think that's a day-night indicator. Yeah, so that you don't mess around. It tells you when it's when you don't press the buttons. Basically,
press the buttons. To change.
That's really annoying. when you're
Yeah.
setting the time, are you before midday or are you after? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you go past the midnight, it changes to the next day. It's bloody hell, I got to go right
So
the way
you
around
don't.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just say hello to Jay Wright. He's he's watching football but listening in, and Aussie expat. Hi guys.
Ozzy.
Hi guys.
Watch
Ozzy.
Cholo. Watch Cholo. Bill. Good to see you, Bill.
What does this set you back then? To
Wow.
284.
300,000 euros.
Yeah, and that's the price from
dollars.
Patek. Yeah, that's the price from Patek. So maybe on the secondary market will be even. But I don't know. Maybe.
I think this one would be. I think this one probably would go for less actually.
For less, right?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's very popular. The 5204, even though it's like super complicated, I don't think it's that popular because it's quite a thick watch.
Mm.
You go have a look at those on Chrono. Yeah, have a look.
It's trading
Yeah.
about the same.
So about the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about this one? I think
The full gold one.
yeah.
It's got the gold. That's got the gold bracelet.
When I was in there, I'm sure that's the one she showed me. I mean, yeah, I didn't felt too much. This one, yeah. She brought this out, and I remember looking at the price.
Yeah, so that's the fifth. That's I was mentioning this watch before. So this is the watch that comes after. What do you call it? What's the one after the 5970? So the 5270. So this is their current perpetual calendar chronograph watch. Really, they're fucking amazing piece. Unreal.
But I know the chain making or the metal work is incredible, but when I looked at it, it was just too much gold all the way around. Just way too much.
Yeah. Hey, Y2K, man.
Y2K. Yeah, I hope you're having a good party at your uncle's.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be cool to have it on the bracelet, but then take the bracelet off and just wear it on a strap.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would do, because these watches on bracelets are fucking rare. Like grand complications with the full bracelet. If you were in a position to buy one, like any watch, you buy it on the bracelet, and you just take. So I would take it off and just put it on a nice croc strap, and off you go. Yeah.
What's your thought on these? The
Celestials. Yeah, I mean, it's not really for me. I mean, Celestial. I mean, who really gives a shit, right? It's not.
Yeah.
It's not, like it's not a function that.
I love the way you put it, JCB. So bluntly.
Yeah, but I mean, like I can use a chronograph. I can use a calendar watch. That's got a useful function for me. Like, do I really care about what's the fucking star sign of the day or what's happening? Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really. I get it. I get the complication and I appreciate it. Like, I appreciate the watchmaking, but it's not something that I would go and buy.
It's not functional. You're not using it. It doesn't mean anything when you're reading it. Okay, well that's what the stars. I think it's the stars over Geneva when it all at certain time of the year or on any given day. You know what the stars are. Does that really matter?
This is sort of watch when you're Jay-Z or someone.
Like
you can buy one if you can afford it, and you're a big watch collector. Then that's when you get it. When you just got money to blow away on a watch.
Yeah.
Astronomy geek with a couple of $1 million.
Have a look at what's that one in the middle there, Jamie? The 5470. Yeah,
I bought that out this year.
That's a split second, isn't it?
This is a split second.
Yeah.
Lovely strap as well. I love what they've done.
Yeah, the red accents just give the watch this right sporty look. Mono pusher even. Really nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if you take a Rolex, I mean, I know it's not like for like, but if you put a Rolex movement on the right hand of your screen, and you put this on, how can you not love what Patek are doing.
So,
Yeah.
Abdul, have you been to any of the stands at Baselworld in the past? Any of the Patek stands?
Yes, yes. Every
only
year I
thing-
went. I've went mainly to the Independence where I could talk to the people and try the watches. But Patek, I went there as well. Saw the watches they had all in display. Oh, cheers, Johnny Walker, gold label, right?
Yeah, I don't normally
Yeah,
drink whiskey, but it was free, so it was a gift. So cheap whiskies always taste better.
yeah.
Free whiskey, I should say. Hey, what's the price on this one, Jamie?
It's no point even going now. It's on request.
On request.
Yeah.
The Patek,
70, they didn't make many of these.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. If you go back, click back, and then you go
Yeah.
back to the go back to the one next to that watch.
Where?
Up the top. So next to that, you got the 5370p. Click on that
yeah.
one. Yeah, let's click on this. This is one of my favorite fucking watches of all time. I love this watch. I was struggling to pick this one or the 5970, and I picked the 5970. This watch is just absolutely amazing, but super expensive. Look at that,
Yeah.
man. 250. Like
Wow.
it's a split second chronograph. Grand foil enamel, just stunning watch. But the money is just
Wow.
just forget it. Like, so yeah, it's interesting to see the 5470 as compared to this. Which one would you pick? I know I would pick this one all day, every day, over the other one.
What's this email?
That's French for enamel.
yeah,
Enamel.
Imal.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is a enamel dial made in the grand foil technique.
Yeah.
Really fucking hard to do, and they break them a lot. That's why these watches are so expensive, is because the handwork and the work that goes into them is many hours and many hours of effort to pull these watches together. Yeah.
For the dial. Yeah. Wow.
So you're saying, Abdul, have you seen many of the Pateks at the Baselworld? Have they?
Yeah. I've went there for the last 3 years before it closed. Every time I went there, looked around. They had like the new releases. They had a couple of also gave a lot of booklets and stuff like that. But to be honest, the worst thing about going to Baselworld was how the big brands treat you. Like you go inside, just here is the bag with a couple of booklets. Can I try the watches? No. You have your name on one of the lists? No. Okay.
To make an appointment, you have to have appointments.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Where the Independence one, where you go like whichever, even MBNF and Recep Recepi, you go there and they have the watches. I even had Voutilainen, like Keri Voutilainen. I went there and he showed me the new vintage watch that he made. I put it on, I tried it. I had like a 20-minute conversation with him about the watch, and I had never had like I never said like I will want to buy the watch. I just said like I really like your watches. I'm interested in seeing it. And for me, I always went there for the Independence. Like I go to the Independence, I talk to them, we drink coffee, we look at the watches. You go and they just show you the watch, show you the complication, and show you everything, and talk to you, and you feel the enthusiasm. You feel that these guys are like us. Like they love watches. While the other ones is like, are you paying? Did you take an appointment? Are you a paying customer?
Yeah.
Does this watch? Does this do anything for any of you?
Yes. One of my favorite. This is one of my favorite regulators.
Yeah.
It's just totally does it for me. I think it's one of my favorite Pateks. I think
like the white gold version one.
A regulator. I would love a regulator watch.
Yeah. When I was last, she offered me, because I wanted the annual calendar. She said, "Oh, do you mean?" She pulled this out.
Really?
It didn't. Yeah, it didn't. I
this
didn't
is the
like it at all.
This is in that like advanced what do they call it? Advanced research model? Is this in that
No.
line?
I know about the advanced research, but this isn't advanced. I mean, it might have
So-
something that came from yeah. The escapement Spiromax. Okay,
Okay.
but it wasn't one of the. I think they did the advanced.
Yeah,
and then it
but-
worked, and then they brought it over to here.
okay, gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, so maybe it's one of those things that, like in the metal, it didn't really grab you when you saw it.
It's just the dial.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm not really into the
Regulators?
chronographs. Yeah. No, I just don't like it. Just
Yeah.
the instant glance at it. But I was curious. But she said, "Oh, yeah, it's very love it or hate it." Like Mama, she said, "It's you either love it or you hate it." And I was in the hate. But I was just curious, what do other people think of this?
Yeah, I like regulators. Yeah.
This is this is a calendar watch. It's just a annual calendar, not a chronograph.
Annual calendar
So
regulator.
So it's a regulator. So you got the hours at the top, and then you got the minute hand, and the bottom is running seconds. With
That's
date.
cool.
Yeah. So yeah, pretty cool piece, man. I like it.
Yeah, my second favorite Patek. Yeah.
The hands are a bit thin. Maybe they should have done something with the hands, maybe.
Do they have another version? I think they have another version.
I reckon they do. Maybe like a white gold one.
Yeah, exactly. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe
Because I
it's
think
discontinued.
before that.
Yeah, it's discontinued because it has a little bit different hands. I think.
Did you like the new annual calendar travel time?
Just a quick hello to our friend Pocket Watch Time. Hi there, Pocket. Good to see you.
Hey,
I'm not really into it.
Yeah.
I did like this new Calatrava. I thought it was lovely.
Yeah.
It was really nice.
It comes with the two straps.
I like it, but I feel it's too sporty for Patek somehow for a Calatrava. But I like that they just went outside of the box with the dial, with the skeletonized second hand for the GMT, and for a travel watch, it's so functional. You have annual calendar, GMT, local, and home time where you can switch from them. You have a moon watch for a little bit of fancy look. So what could you ask more, right?
Yeah, and I saw an interview. Thierry, he designed this watch with his two sons, and this is the modern day Patek buyer. That's what this watch is aimed
feels
at.
Like
modern.
Feels like it, really. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you can tell that's really what they're going for.
With the straps, it's not the classical alligator leather strap. It's I think this is a calf skin, is it?
It looks like a canvas, maybe, or something.
Yeah. But big money, not cheap. This 69,000 euros. Big money.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
What happens when you enter Patek territory? The realm of Patek.
The cheapest Patek, I believe, is an Aquanaut. I believe.
Really?
The cheapest,
which is this in stainless steel.
17,000, is it?
20,000 euros.
20,000 euros. Yeah.
I think that's the cheapest Patek.
Cheapest,
and
unattainable.
Coincidentally, it's also the most hyped
one.
Yeah. I tell you the truth. If I could get an Aquanaut travel time, I'd really. I know I could, because I used to have this 5167R.
I was going to ask what you guys thought of the Aquanauts and
I used to have this, and I obviously I got rid of it because I wanted to buy the world time, and I know it's the correct decision, and I can live with this world time, to the day I die. It was my Grail, so to speak. But now this is out of my life. On reflection, I miss it, and it was an incredibly comfortable watch to wear. That strap, oh my god, it was so comfortable.
Yeah, I bet. I just love the geosphere dial that they have. The pattern on the dial.
Yeah,
Look how thin they
real
are.
nice.
Yeah.
I've heard the thing about these watches is how they wear. They just wear really, really well. That's what
Yeah,
makes
look how thin that is.
Yeah.
Because personally, the look just does nothing for me. But I think it's all about how they wear. That's the wearing experience with this
Yeah,
watch.
this was friggin' comfortable, so comfortable. I can't express that enough. I wore all these different watches since, but that was real comfortable. But you know, it's just sad because all the hype train got a hold of this, and I don't really want to be part of that territory. But if I could get an Aquanaut travel time, I mean, one of these ones, any of these.
How much are these things going for in the secondary now? It's just ridiculous, right?
Ridiculous, ridiculous. Just ridiculous. I
Like,
really like
36,
36.
So what, I'm
5164A.
going to have a guess and say in euro that would probably be going for about 100, 120, something like that.
I guess something
yeah.
like this, 80 to 110, maybe something like that. Yeah, 110. Yeah,
125,
okay.
103,
Yeah.
135.
35. Wow.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, tell me you wouldn't prefer like one of those other complicated watches we were looking at, you know?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Sort of money.
Yeah.
And you know,
You get
these hype pieces, they're part of the trend now, but the trend can change and the trend will change because the trend always changes. So if you get one of those complicated pieces, you can buy it and live with it for the rest of your life, you know, because it's you bought it for all the right reasons.
Yeah,
With
you bought it for
like
you.
This, something like this, you're getting on that train and it's fashionable now, but when the next shiny object comes out, you're holding the bag.
Flippin Zippo was asking the price is coming down. Yeah, it's coming down, but it was 5 times the retail market. Now it's 4 times, you know, or 3 times. So it's still too high, but it's coming down. Like everything is coming down. Obviously, wow.
You like?
Yeah, good to see you, Flippin' Zippo.
Wow.
JCB, this is for you. World time flyback chronograph.
Wow.
Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah. The Green Dragon.
World time chronograph. Wow.
Flyback
wow.
chronograph.
Never seen that before.
That's the perfect traveling watch, right? That's just everything you need to time your flight and to just
the engine turn gear shay dial on it as well. That's lovely. Wow.
Spectacular.
Yeah. Amazing watch.
Do you like the pilot watch?
I'm not so fussed on it, to be honest with you. I do like that layout. I mean, I like the layout. I'd much prefer Motor Heritage, to be honest with you, with that layout.
Me as well.
The dial layout, without all the cluster of the buttons and the...
I never liked it, mainly because of the crowns that are on the side. But but when I look at the dial, like just if you got rid of those crowns, right, and then you look at the watch, I reckon it's pretty thick. I reckon I like it. Yeah, I've been getting
those crowns. They look huge, and
it
look like you might knock it and it bloody falls off or something.
Yeah.
Do some damage.
And there's another one that's got like 4 crowns, isn't there? There's one that's actually got like 4. Where is it? I'm sure there was one that, because I remember it looked like a bloody spider or something with these.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it might be discontinued, perhaps.
No. You got your new world time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's the world time cost these days, Jamie? The one with the cloisonné.
So, I mean, at retail, they're like 60,000 euros ish. Okay, this new one, but don't forget this new one. Okay, so this one's 80, but my one at retail, I think it was around 60. And on Grey, It's like 120, 136,
Oh.
124.
Okay.
Yeah, but this watch is worth holding
Every
on
penny,
to.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just one of these classics, yeah.
because
Yeah.
they don't make a lot of these. When I was talking,
Yeah.
I bought mine on the grey, but I asked in the shop, how many did you get? And she said, since it got the 5231J yellow gold version got released in 2019. I asked her this question last year. I said, how many did you get? And she said one. You know, in
Wow.
3 years, and
In 3 years. Okay. I thought it was like
and
one per year.
that's
Really?
one shop, and Patek don't have many shops. You
Wow.
know, so they're not making many of these.
That was
And
boutique,
the-
wasn't it?
these are the pieces that you see in auctions 20 years down the line, 50 years down the line. So I'm going to keep hold of it. But
Oh,
it means everything for me, because I love to travel. I love to travel. So, you know, the earth, the enamel. I mean, I love the art. The art. I know how hard it is to make these, and I've heard
Yeah.
how many get destroyed. The cloisonne,
Yeah.
and then the enamel, and then of course the function. You know, the fact that I can see, and I'm going to go traveling at the end of this month to Singapore and Kuala Lumpur, and I cannot wait to as I'm coming into land, push that button, and the outer ring go round. And I
It's
think
around it.
Singapore is Bangkok, so I'll have, or is it Beijing? I'll have Beijing at the top. You know, it's just a functional watch for someone that has a global outlook.
Yeah.
You know, to life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a bloody art. It's an artwork. Really. It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. The most elegant way to travel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. One day.
Beautiful. Yeah. Lovely watch.
That's why you compare that with an Aquanaut. I mean, it's a no contest. But actually, you can, in the good times, take an Aquanaut, and you pretty much got enough money to get one of them.
Plus, it's a sports trend versus a dress trend, isn't it? I mean, when you start looking at watches that the higher value bracket, I mean, you're looking at the dress watches, and personally, if a lot of money landed in my lap, I wouldn't be going for sports watches. I'd be going for dress watches.
Yeah.
Because that's where your complications start entering. Your real high horology and your top complications start entering into dress watches. I mean, yeah.
So no Richard Mills for your Thomas.
No, not for me. Not for me.
Maybe if I own one day a Formula One team, maybe I'd wear a Richard Mille. Other than that, I wouldn't want to own one.
I'd only want one to buy at retail to flip.
To flip
it. I want to be a flipper of Richard Mille.
Yeah. Flipping a Richard Mille would be maybe the most lucrative transaction in watches at the moment. If you want to flip it, but then afterwards you would lose the connection to Richard Mille, maybe. Who knows? But if you're only just aim to get one, sell it, get 10 watches instead, it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's just stupidity. I just don't understand what the whole deal is with that, man. It's just this whole status symbol thing. That's all it is. It's just all it is. Like they're just a status symbol for super rich dudes, and that's all it is. You know? It's bizarre.
Yeah,
I do understand the concept. You know, I understand. Okay, like you have categories. You have people who want to wear maybe one watch to show, okay, look, guys, I'm in a different level. You know, and it's just levels. Some guys wear one watch to show, okay, look, I'm wearing this or I'm wearing that, and you have but for me, I would rather wear a Grubel 4C than a RM. You know, like.
Wow.
Every time, you know, Global 4C, the one I have it on my list, it's 750,000. You know, it's like the watch that if you know what watch it is, you want to talk to this guy and say, hey, you're the guy, you're the man, you know. Like I wouldn't want to go to talk to a guy wearing a Richard Mille, because I know he would be like not even interested in conversation about watches.
No.
You know, like the other guy would be like, yeah, it took me this much, and he would be like exciting about the watch itself, not about how much did he pay for it.
Who are the real super expensive dudes? So you've got Richard Mille, Grubel. Who else is sort of up in that? The mega bucks.
Maybe
FP Journe.
FP Journe, the big ones, the Resonance, but still they're not like near the Grubel
They're
Force.
not that much. Like list price. I'm talking
Yeah.
list price. Like
list price. Yeah, that's
like Journe make big money on the secondary.
They Bethune, even it's not that much. Like you can compare them to the big pieces for MBNF and even Gronefeld. Rement were their bestseller is like 80 grand, but it sells, of course, 3 times that in the gray market. But like Grubel, I think Grubel is like the big ones. You have to, of course, the smaller ones that you get. Like I talked to a watchmaker. I don't even remember his name, but he's doing watches with his wife and his son. It's not Harbring. Harbring is only his wife, but and they make 3 or 4 watches per year, and they sell the watch for like 400,000-500,000.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So like that's the thing with Richard Mille. He found this niche. He actually created this niche of the uber rich, like the uber expensive watch, because there wasn't that niche there. So if I can hats off,
and they want to be able to separate themselves from the rest.
Yeah,
the wearers, because a Rolex everybody's got now.
Yeah.
What's the next? Like a Patek, a lot of people have got now. But the Richard Mille, it's a big gap to jump across into that category.
Yeah.
It's a huge gap to get from the Patek level to the Richard Mille level. And how does that formula separate himself from the riffraff?
Yeah. Like, even though I hate Richard Mille, like, hats off to him for what he's able to have done. You know what I mean?
Marketing genius,
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Like, creating a whole niche and then coming out of it being just the richest dude in the whole watch game. Like, what a legend, man. What a fucking legend.
Was he a racing driver, Richard Mille?
Yeah.
No, he was involved in a lot of racing coordination, and he's even in like a committee that oversees. He's really a racing fan. Like, he's a racing fan. He works in stuff like this. So he stayed true. You know, like that's what I like about what he did. He's like, okay, I'm doing automotive for the uber rich, because Formula One is like a rich sport. It's not like you're watching football or something like that. So sponsoring a couple of teams, doing the right things about combining traditional watchmaking with new materials that you never see before. And you get the result. You get like an ultra limited watch that when you have one, you feel this sense of achievement. You know, I'm wearing a Richard Mille. So
have any of you ever been to a Richard Mille AD?
No.
Don't dare step in. Is that? I've never been, but I'm just wondering. You know, what's the? Hi, can I come in?
Apparently, there's nothing in there. Apparently, it's sort of like Rolex. There's nothing in there. I've heard. Yeah.
I remember like 5-6 years ago.
Gentlemen, I'll catch you on the next one.
We'll call it a wrap now. I think we'll call it a wrap. It's been a great show. Thanks for joining us, Jason. Your picks. Great picks there. And great picks, Jamie.
Enjoyable.
And we haven't had Y2K and Dodger on today. They're busy today. They've had things on, but they'll be joining us in the future. And thanks for everyone in the chat who's joined us. Good to see you all, as always. And we'll see you next time.
Awesome. Great show, guys.
Take care, everyone. Great show.
Great show.
Have a great weekend.
Take care, everyone. Yeah, have a great weekend. See you soon.